Breaking news just coming out today, December 30th, 2024, as we are hearing that the U.S. Treasury says that it was hacked by China in a major incident. Take a look at the latest headlines. You can see this one coming out just 2 hours ago. Here's another one. U.S. Treasury says its computers were hacked by a Chinese threat actor in a major incident. The threat actor was able to access the workstations via compromised third-party cybersecurity service provider called Beyond Trust, the department says. Here's another headline. U.S. Treasury confirms cyber breach linked to China-backed hackers and major incident. China-backed hackers breached U.S. Treasury workstations. We are hearing they were able to gain access to the U.S. Treasury, and they are saying they are confirming that this was China. Now, this raises the question, and let me know in the comments, do you feel like your money is safe in the banks if they are able to hack the U.S. Treasury? And we've actually seen them hack the CISA, which is the organization that's supposed to protect us from cyber attacks. Do you feel like your money is safe in the bank? If you think so, put yes. If you think no, put no. But we're hearing that the U.S. Treasury itself has just been hacked. It has been confirmed. Now, actually, not just today. We're hearing that this happened earlier this month, but it has just been confirmed today, just a little while ago. I'm going to get you all the latest details and information on this so that way you can see it for yourself. And I see people starting to put no in the comments that with a breach of the U.S. Treasury, doesn't make you feel too confident about having your money in the bank. Let me know your thoughts. I see Chris saying, how is this even possible? Well, we're hearing that China right now has the #1 cyber army in the world. And for the past 5 years, they have been infiltrating U.S. critical infrastructure systems. We saw the largest hack just recently take place on our telecommunication systems, hitting AT&T, Verizon. We have heard water systems have been compromised. Electrical grids have been compromised, ports have been compromised, hospital systems, ambulances, all of these things, medical pharmacies, all of these have been hacked. And we're hearing that now the U.S. Treasury has been hacked as well, going right for the U.S.'s money. And I'm going to give you all the details on this. And again, I'm going to share with you what is coming out on this. We're hearing this happened earlier this month, and it has been confirmed. But it raises the question, do you feel safe? Do you feel safe with your own money in the bank? We're hearing that right now, China has a cyber army. And for every one U.S. cyber attack defender, there are 50 hackers that are operating, and they've been infiltrating our U.S. critical infrastructure systems for the past 5 years, compromising all of these systems, but yet not activating any of them, just testing some out here and there, because they're planning to orchestrate an attack across various systems all at once, simultaneously, when they prepare for war against Taiwan. And we have been hearing major warnings coming out specifically about China from Gordon Chang. He is an expert that has been warning us just recently that we could literally have a major attack and be in war before January 20th, before Trump comes into office. There could be a huge attack. The U.S. Treasury does not affect civilian money. That would be the Federal Reserve, says Swivel Medic. Yes, and thank you for that clarification, Swivel Medic. But again, then it poses the question, if they can breach the federal government, do you feel safe about your own funds? That is the question. But thank you for that. I appreciate that. And the $5 super chat. Let me know, does this make you feel like anything that you've got at this point is safe when literally the CISA, the organization that's supposed to be keeping us safe from cyber attacks, they themselves were hit in a cyber attack and were hacked. And now we're hearing that the U.S. Treasury has been hacked as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But like I said, I'm going to get you caught up on the latest information so that way you can see it for yourself. I'm going to play the video footage, get you all the details as to what is going on. All of these articles are going to be linked in the description below. I cite all the sources, put it on the screen, read right from it so that way you can see it for yourself and know that it is the latest. And if you appreciate that, do me a favor before we dive in. Please take a second, hit that like button for me. Helps spread this out across the YouTube platform so more people can get the latest updates. In addition to that, to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not go ahead, take a second, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell to all so that way as soon as breaking news updates come out, you can be notified right away. And in addition to all the articles being linked down below, also are various resources that you might want to stock up on, as we have heard warnings of power grid failures, of potential water cyber attacks hitting our water systems. And we have already seen some of these take place, but they're saying this could happen all at once. And if things go down, it could be very bad. So there are resources linked down below. We've also heard the warnings of potential physical attacks against the United States on U.S. soil, and with dirty bombs or suitcase nukes that could come across the border and be detonated. Now, if you want to get some of those iodide potassium tablets, those are linked down below as well. $15, just get your hands on some so that way you've got them ready. It's very affordable. There are Amazon links available down below. And if you got kids, small kids, there are some that are available for all ages. I think those ones are like $20. So it's not very much to go ahead and make sure that you've got things ready. And also, somebody was asking me earlier, Steve, do you have a newsletter to stay connected just in case social media platforms and communications go down? Yes, that's going to be at www.steveramnews.com. Go ahead and join the newsletter. You can get those regularly or weekly emails coming out, getting you updated on information in case you missed it. And in case something were to happen to social media platforms, you can stay connected on that newsletter as well. But like I said, hit that like button, subscribe to stay up to date, and I'm going to get you caught up on the latest so that way you know exactly what is going on. And let's start off with some video footage so you can hear it coming out. Breaking news, this coming out just about an hour ago. Let's go ahead and take a look.
All right, and there is some breaking news tonight that a Chinese state-sponsored hacker accessed unclassified documents at the Treasury Department this month. What can you tell us about that hack, and how significant is that?
Yeah, I mean, the Treasury Department is saying that this is a pretty big deal. I want to read you exactly what they said just to make sure that we outline exactly what's going on here. Basically, what they said was that as of December 8th, a third-party vendor flagged to them that there was a Chinese-sponsored entity that was able to access what they described as unclassified documents. They said that this threat actor was able to override the service's security, remotely access certain Treasury workstations, and again, access not classified, but unclassified documents. So it seems like there wasn't anything too sensitive that was part of that. But what the Treasury is going to have to do now is report back within 30 days back to Congress to offer a little bit more detail about exactly how this happened and maybe what could be done to prevent it going forward. But the Treasury described this as a pretty serious issue, although I want to point out again, it was unclassified documents, not classified documents that were allegedly compromised as part of this hack earlier this month.
Concerning, nonetheless.
Exactly.
All right. Brian Chung, thank you for your reporting.
There you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Now, they're saying this is very concerning. Now, they said that they were able to access, they were not classified documents. However, they will be able to get access to their computers, to their systems, and they're saying that they were breached the U.S. Treasury. So, very concerning, they said, and they're calling this a major incident. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these articles so that way you can see it for yourself. And let's start off with this first one coming out here from BBC so that way you can see what it is that they are saying. And again, all of these, they are linked down in the description. And also, I still see people saying no, as they're saying they're not feeling very confident about having their own money in the banks at this time. If we are seeing the U.S. Treasury being hacked in a China-backed hacker attack on our Treasury. U.S. Treasury says that it was hacked by China in a major incident. Now, this says a Chinese state-sponsored hacker has broken into the U.S. Treasury Department's system, accessing employee workstations and some unclassified documents, American officials said on Monday today. The breach occurred in early December and was made public in a letter penned by the Treasury Department to lawmakers, notifying them of the incident. The U.S. agency characterized the breach as a major incident and said that it had been working with the FBI and other agencies to investigate the impact. Now, a spokesperson for the Chinese embassy in Washington, D.C. told BBC News that the accusations is part of a smear attack and was made without any factual basis. And this is what we regularly hear from China. China is saying that there is no foundation to any of this. All of the cyber attacks that right now we're hearing the FBI is accusing China of, they say there's no facts to any of this, and all of this is set up for a false flag against China. That is what the Chinese leadership is saying. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think that this could be a false flag set up to attack China, or do you think that this is actually happening? Let me know your thoughts. The FBI has been saying for quite some time that we are under attack from Salt Typhoon, which they're saying is a massive cyber attack army that has been infiltrating U.S. critical infrastructure systems, stealing information, doing all these things. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think this is a false flag? If so, put FF. If you think, no, this is real, put US. Let me know your thoughts. If you believe the U.S., put U.S. If you don't, put false flag. But a spokesman for the Chinese embassy in Washington, D.C. told BBC News that the accusation is a part of a smear attack and was made without any factual basis. Now, reading on, it says the Treasury Department said that it's in its letter to lawmakers that the China-based actor was able to override security via a key used by a third-party service provider that offers remote technical support to its employees. Thank you, Victor, for the $2 super chat. And he said that he saw a ton of Chinese men passing off as Mexicans. Well, we have seen crossing the border thousands of Chinese individuals coming in. I don't know the exact number, but yes, we have heard that with the border crisis that we've seen over the past 4 years that have been unfolding, a lot of those coming in, people think, oh, they're coming from Mexico. Well, what we're hearing is, in fact, less than half of them are actually from Mexico. The vast majority of them are actually from other nations, from all over the world. We're seeing people coming from Africa, the Middle East, from China, from various places. A lot of them nations adversaries against the United States that want to do harm to us, especially amid all the threats and warnings we're receiving right now from the FBI. China has a lot of individuals that are crossing illegally into our borders. Now, the compromised third-party service called Beyond Trust has since been taken offline, officials have said. They added that there is no evidence to suggest that the hacker has continued to access the Treasury Department's information since. Now, along with the FBI, the department has been working with the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency and third-party forensic investigators to determine the breach's overall impact. Based on evidence it has gathered so far, officials said that the hack appears to have been carried out by a Chinese-based Advanced Persistent Threat, or a APT, actor. In accordance with the Treasury policies, intrusions attributed to an APT are considered a major cybersecurity incident, Treasury Department officials wrote in the letter to lawmakers. Now, it says millions of Americans caught up in Chinese hacking plot in the U.S. China hits out at U.S. and U.K. over cyber hack claims. So China lashing back at these accusations, saying that these are false accusations. However, who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe the U.S. or are you going to believe China? Now, the department was made aware of the hack on December 8th by Beyond Trust, a spokesperson told BBC News. According to the company, the suspicious activity was first spotted on December 2nd, but it took 3 days for the company to determine that it had been hacked. Now, the spokesperson added that the hacker was able to remotely access several Treasury users' workstations and certain unclassified documents that were kept by those users. Now, the department did not specify the nature of these files, or when or for how long the hack took place. They also did not specify the level of confidentiality of the computer system. For instance, access to 100 low-level workers would likely be less valuable than access to only 10 computers at a higher echelon within the department. The hackers may have been able to create accounts or change passwords in the 3 days that they were being watched by Beyond Trust. As espionage agents, the hackers are believed to have been seeking information rather than attempting to steal funds. The spokesperson said the Treasury Department takes very seriously all threats against our systems and the data that it holds, and that it will continue to work on protecting its data from outside threats. The department letter states that a supplemental report on the incident will be provided to lawmakers in 30 days. Chinese embassy spokesperson Liu Pengyu denied the department's reports, saying in a statement that it can be difficult to trace the origin of the hacker. We hope that relevant parties will adopt a professional and responsible attitude when characterizing cyber incidents, basing their conclusions on sufficient evidence rather than unfounded speculation and accusations, he said. The U.S. needs to stop using cybersecurity to smear and slander China and stop spreading all kinds of disinformation about the so-called Chinese hacking threats. This is the latest high-profile and embarrassing U.S. breach blamed on Chinese espionage hackers. It follows another hack of telecommunication companies in December that potentially breached phone record data across large swaths of American society. And let me know your thoughts in the comments. We have heard that that was the largest hack of U.S. communication systems ever. The largest hack, they're saying AT&T, Verizon, they're saying iPhones, Androids, all of them. And they are now, we're still hearing the warnings that they have not secured this as of right now. To be very careful about the information you send via text or by phone call, because if it is not encrypted, if it's not iPhone to iPhone or Android to Android, or there's no type of encryption that is involved, it could be hacked. It could be intercepted by these hackers. And they're saying that this particular telecommunication system hack is primarily focused, though, on members of Congress, on our leaders, on our government. But they have hacked essentially the entire U.S. They have access to all of this information. And so we're hearing that we are being hacked left and right. And again, they are also saying that this was China as well that hit our telecommunication systems. And now we're hearing the U.S. Treasury as well. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at some more information on this coming out from NBC News. And again, all of these are going to be linked in the description, so that way you can get the latest information. You can see the hyperlinks, know what is the latest, and rest assured of the accountability on these articles. So U.S. Treasury says that its computers were hacked by a Chinese threat actor in a major incident. And here you can see the breaking news report that we just watched moments ago. And this coming out December 30th, around 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. The U.S. Treasury Department said a state-sponsored Chinese hacking operation was able to access third-party software to tap into desktop computers of Treasury employees in what the department is calling a major incident. In a letter seen by ABC News, Adit Hardikar, Assistant Secretary for Management of U.S. Department of the Treasury, wrote that the office was notified on December 8th of a breach. The letter is addressed to Senator Sherrod Brown of Ohio and Senator Tim Scott, the chairman and ranking member, respectively, of the Committee on Banking and Housing and Urban Affairs. The information accessed by the threat actor included unclassified documents, according to the letter. Hadikar wrote that the U.S. Treasury was told by a third-party software service provider, Beyond Trust, that a threat actor had gained access to a key used by the vendor to secure a cloud-based service used to remotely provide technical support for Treasury Department offices and users. With this access, the threat actor was able to override certain security measures and get into the department's users' workstations. The U.S. Treasury has been working with the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency and the FBI and other members of the intelligence community, as well as third-party forensic investigators, to fully characterize the incident and determine its overall impact, the letter reads. In a statement to NBC News, a Treasury spokesperson cited the contents of the letter, saying that the compromised Beyond Trust service has been taken offline and that there is no evidence indicating that the threat actor has continued access to the Treasury systems or information. So they believe that they are now out of the systems according to what they are seeing. So they believe that the hacking threat is at this time hopefully past and over. Now, Treasury takes very serious all threats against our systems and the data it holds. Over the last 4 years, Treasury has significantly bolstered its cyber defense, and we will continue to work with both private and public partners to protect our financial systems from threat actors, the statement read in part. Fellow agencies helped the U.S. Treasury deduct that the breach came from a Chinese hacker, according to the letter. The letter states that a supplemental report will be made within 30 days. Now, also, here is another one coming out from a foreign news media outlet. Wyoming U.S. Treasury confirms cyber breach linked to a Chinese-backed hacker. Let's see what this one says. It says the U.S. Treasury on Monday, December the 30th, told Congress that earlier this month, a China state-sponsored actor was behind a cyber breach that successfully accessed some of its workstations. Oh, and that is all the information we get from this foreign news media outlet. And also we have one here from CNN. Major incident, China-backed hacker breached U.S. Treasury workstation. You can see this coming out less than an hour ago, or excuse me, about 1 hour ago, 7:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this one says the U.S. Treasury Department notified lawmakers on Monday that a China state-sponsored actor infiltrated Treasury workstations in what officials are describing as a major incident. In a letter reviewed by CNN, a Treasury official said that it was informed by a third-party software service provider on December 8th that a threat actor used a stolen key to remotely access certain Treasury workstations and unclassified documents. And this one looks very similar to the one that we just read. I think this is actually a repeat. Yeah, it looks like very similar information. Let's see here. Yes, CISA was engaged immediately upon Treasury's knowledge of the attack, and the remaining government bodies were contacted as soon as the scope of the attack became evident. This story has been updated with additional developments and context. But we are seeing that this has unfolded, a major incident, they are saying, and the fact that our U.S. Treasury was able to be infiltrated, a lot of people saying very concerning. And again, I pose the question to you, with that being said, does it make you feel comfortable about your funds in your bank and the potential threat of hackers getting access to people's private funds? I mean, they have been able to infiltrate the U.S. Treasury. What about the everyday Americans' funds? Let me know your thoughts. Do you still feel like your money is safe? If you think so, put yes. If you think no, put no. Let me know your thoughts. But we're hearing a major incident has occurred. That is what they are saying, as we are hearing that a Chinese-backed hacker has breached U.S. Treasury workstations, and they were trying to get information. But if they wanted, they probably could have accessed funds as well, as they are saying that they were hacked in a major incident. And in addition to that, as I mentioned, various other hacks taking place, and we're hearing that China has a massive cyber army that has been hacking U.S. systems. So, man, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm seeing Wanda, Michaela, Brandy saying no. John and Rodney saying yes, they feel fine with their funds currently in the bank. No issues there. I'm seeing a lot of no's starting to pour in. Meh Bermard says this has escalated quickly. Disciple for Jesus Messiah says hit the IRS. A lot of people saying no, not feeling too good about this situation. And I think that is very understandable after we're seeing communication systems hit, insurance companies hit, water systems have been hacked. We're hearing that power grids have been compromised. A lot of people very concerned about what would happen if an EMP or a power grid were to unfold, if an EMP hit and took power grids down, or if power grids were hacked. What would that be like if we had power out for a long time? Well, like I said, resources linked down below, as it seems like these hacks are taking place more frequently, and we're hearing that there could be a potential coordination of a simultaneous attack across the United States of various infrastructure systems coordinated by China when they're prepared to attack Taiwan. And I believe it was in just the past month we had heard those warnings coming out from Xi Jinping as he alerted his military to prepare for war. And we're hearing that that war is Taiwan. And Taiwan, the ally of the United States, we are hearing that China is preparing to hit the United States as well, anticipating that as war unfolds between China and Taiwan, that the U.S. will come to the aid of Taiwan. So China, thinking strategically ahead for the past 5 years, we have heard, has unleashed a cyber army against the U.S., preparing to cripple it when that war takes place. And we are hearing that that could be sooner rather than later. And these additional hacks that are taking place could be signs that China is infiltrating and getting ready for more havoc on the U.S. Let's see here. Barry is saying at EMP, no internet. What will that look like for weeks? Yeah, that will be extremely difficult. We will need to make sure that we've got everything set in place right now, so that way you can have be set to survive. And a lot of people have asked that question. If we were to be hit by an EMP or a nuclear weapon, or have some sort of attack that took the system down, how long is that going to be unfolding for? How long should you be prepared for? Well, if you haven't heard, I think it's Sweden, Finland, Norway, with all the conflict that's taking place between Russia and Ukraine, they have been handing out pamphlets to their citizens telling them to stock up on food, water, supplies, any baby products that you need, and to have them ready for at least a week's worth of supplies. However, I've let a lot of people know that I live in Houston, Texas, and here when we get hit by a hurricane, the power grid can go down for, we've had it down for 2-3 weeks at a time. So I don't necessarily think a week is going to be enough time, in my personal opinion. I think that you probably need to stock up for longer. Let me know your thoughts. Put in the comments, how long do you think you need to stock up on resources for? Food, water, supplies. You're going to need gasoline for your vehicle. You might want to have some firearm protection for you and your family to protect yourselves, resources, because we've seen the studies and we know that if it goes longer than a week or so, people that don't have resources start getting pretty desperate. So it's good to have all of those items on hand. Me personally, this is just my speculation. I think that if things went down, they would be down for quite some time. 3 months. I would imagine you'd want to work yourself up to at least 3 months worth of supplies, food, water, various things that you might need. Let me know your thoughts. How long do you think in the comments? I see James saying 2 months. I see Victor saying the border is wide open right now for China. Yeah. And that is one of the things that we're hearing that Trump is saying he wants to address. He says he wants to secure our border. He also says that he wants to make sure that we have an Iron Dome to protect us from missile attacks. He said we need a U.S. Iron Dome. He also wants to acquire Greenland, which is he says is a strategic location in the Arctic for potential attacks that could come from Russia or China. And he also said he wants to control the Panama Canal. This is sending a message to China for trade wars and pathways through. He said it's a very strategic location and he wants to control it. So right now we're hearing that the U.S., under the threat of potential attack and war, Donald Trump is trying to get things prepared. And if you think that is a good idea right now, that the Trump administration coming in and making all those proposals while he is president-elect is good, put a 47 in the comments. In my last live stream, I saw somebody put January 20th can't come soon enough. But like I said, we've received the warnings from Gordon Chang that we could literally have an attack on U.S. soil and be in a conflict even before then, that he anticipates that we could see something unfold here before Inauguration Day, before Trump is in office. There could be attacks that could unfold. So we will see, and I will keep you guys up to speed on everything, but I know a lot of people are very concerned with the news coming out that the U.S. Treasury itself has now been hacked. Now, luckily, as we saw, nothing was, they believe that there are no issues and they believe that the hacking attack is done with and they've got them out, but hopefully we'll be able to see some additional security for the U.S. at this time. But it just seems like there is hack after hack that is taking place, and I am seeing all those 47s coming in as people are saying they cannot wait for Donald Trump to get in and help out our nation. I also see somebody putting 6 months of supplies. Vegas Johnny says 6 months worth at least. Fired Up Freddy says smack that like button for Steve Ram and all the updates. Yes, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. That helps spread this out further so more people can get the latest updates. I see we got 3,060 people with me live in the room, 1,230 likes. If I could get half of the room to hit the like button if you haven't done so yet and you appreciate the updates, really helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. Excuse me for hitting that like button. But you guys, that is the latest. And as more comes out, if any information comes out on this, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to speed on everything. Sean says, Parabellum, thank you for that $2 super chat. Appreciate that a ton. David King says, like button smashed. I see Brenda with the thumbs up for the like button. Thank you for that. Somebody says, Steve Ram. Jose says, thank you for your frequent updates. You are welcome. E4MB1011 says, Steve Ram for president. Maybe we'll make a run in 2028. What do you think? Well, I appreciate that. And I'm still seeing people saying, yes, we need 6 months worth of supplies. I don't think that that's a bad idea. Like I say here on the channel, there's a lot going on in the world right now. Don't be scared. Be prepared. And I believe that knowledge is power, but I believe the application of the knowledge is power. Right now, I hope that I can provide people with information, cite all the sources, put it on the screen, read right from it, hold myself accountable to the community so that way you can rest assured that it is the actual latest news that's coming out. And you can go ahead, take the information and decide what is the best thing for you and your family to do given the information that is provided. And like I said, as more comes out, I'll be sure to make sure that you guys know exactly what is going on. But that is the latest. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll keep you up to speed on everything. There is a lot taking place, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much, you guys. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.